Okay, guys, so we're gonna get cracking right away. So this is the image that I am working on right now, and I've used mask to create the guy and the shack in the background. So I'm going to show you how to selectively edit or selectively put in just what you want from another image. So I'm going to do the guy and the auger today. So I'm going to put that image into my picture. You can put it on top of the background. It makes sense to put it on top right now because that is the one I'm working on. So it is in the top. I'm going to adjust the size that I see fit. Doesn't have to be perfect. I can always adjust this later. The reason that the color looks off is because it was attached to the wrong image. So I'm working on that right now. Put that down below. It should fix it. We're just going to try this again. So I'm going to put that image, that file back in. There it is. I'm going to adjust where I want to put it. Alright, somewhere about there looks good. If you make it too small, sometimes it's hard to get a lot of detail into your piece, and you can always adjust the size later. So sometimes I like to say that it's better to work a little larger than a little smaller. Just for the lasso tool, it just helps a little bit. So next thing I'm going to use the lasso tool up here, and I really like this rectangle with the selective tool in it. And if I make a selection or rectangle around an object that I want to select, it makes this little lasso around my piece. And if I do that around everything that I want, then it should select. See, sometimes when it's too small, it will not select. So if you see it just selected the bottom part, not a huge deal. I can use this paintbrush tool, and if I use these two selection tools, one will make my lasso larger and one will make my lasso smaller. So I'm going to use the one to make it larger, and I'm going to just paint around the object that I want to select. And it's okay if it's not perfect. We can always go back in and we can adjust this using the black and white tool. So I'm just going in, I'm getting a rough outline of stuff I would like. Going to get the guy as well. Going to go back and forth a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. I want to get that little ice fishing pole in there, but I don't want to get everything else. So that looks pretty good to me. There we go. So I know there's a lot of extra stuff. If you can see, it's also getting the mountains and some of that stuff around the auger that I don't want. That'll be okay. So now if we're going to hit the mask tool in the bottom, it's a square with a circle in it. It'll turn this image into a black and white image and just have what I selected, which is pretty cool. So now I can go in, and if I'm on this black and white layer and not the photograph, if I use the painting tool and I paint with a black anything, so any texture or anything, you can take away that extra stuff that you don't want, or you can paint a way to reveal your background. So I know in that video that we saw that he used the splitter tool to reveal the piece in the background, or you can use it as a selectively edit tool. So this is just one way that you can make edits using the selection tool. So now I want to show you guys how to make the blur image. So in that first video we watched last week, I know there was some confusion on how to make it, and there was confusion of on my end. I'm sorry about that for anyone it helped. So I'm going to put two images into this new project. The first image I selected was the wrong file, but it actually wasn't. It was just the wrong picture, so I saved it incorrectly. So I'm going to put the other one in, because you're going to need two pictures for this project. Make sure they fill the whole space, or just about the whole space of your project, or it'll look weird when you blend it all together because there'll be a lot of white, which you will not want in this image. So just going to kind of guesstimate where the background is. Okay, it's not perfect. This is just an example. So now I'm going to create a mask on each of those layers, which is the square with a circle inside of it. Now if I click on the fill button, a little paintbrush, and I click over to select a blur, as long as I'm in my mask and I use a black, I can blur from the top down in one and from the bottom up in the other. and that will create a blur in my image. Because remember we learned before, when we create a mask, it's creating a black and white layer that is using a photograph in both ways. So I hope this makes sense to you all. I find it helpful. I know I did it kind of fast, and I'm adjusting things now, but if you need some more help, please let me know. Maybe watch this video and pause it and kind of do as I do. I know it's a little difficult to learn, but I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm here to help you in any way I can. You guys have a good one. Ciao!